Would you like to know what kind of negative consequences I experienced after picking up girls on the street? Then listen to this entire video where I explain how my moral conscience did not really agree with, just trying to speak to girls in order to get out of my comfort zone, which really benefits me, but without really giving them something in return. So before we get into this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to learn more about self-development, dating, Jungian psychology, and how to reduce suffering in life. Let's get into it. So I've gone to go and pick up girls twice now within the last month with some other guys. We went out really for the purpose of seeking discomfort. That was really it. The first time, I was really anticipating an awesome experience because I thought this would be a cool routine to get out of my comfort zone regularly. I got one number after talking to like 4 girls, like 2 girls alone, and then one was in a pair, and it was okay. And then I went out again last week, and I didn't feel good afterwards. I felt good afterwards, but about like a day afterwards, I felt guilty, and here is why. So, the first girl I talked to 2 days ago, she just had a boyfriend, so that was it. The second girl I talked to, she was cool, and she seemed interested, and I asked for her number, she gave it to me, and I said I would text her. Now, the thing is, this is a bit mean. So she looked okay. She wasn't perfectly my type. She looked okay. And the thing is, it was already dark when we were going out, and it's quite difficult to see what someone looks like in the dark, especially from a distance. So I would say I got her number, but I wasn't necessarily, 100% attracted to her. Now, that evening when I went to bed, I had a rush of anxiety in my head, in my chest. And this feeling of, this sense of poignancy hit me. I felt like I was a fraud. I had done something wrong. I had lied to her. I had deceived her. I had used her for my own benefit. I did not feel good about it. There was something that was bugging me. I did not feel good. Then the second night, the day after, I had this cinema of thoughts running through my head that was sort of hijacking my equanimity and preventing me from just falling asleep. I sensed like I needed to reach out to this girl and debrief her of what happened, because I basically just used her for my own benefit. And of course, the thing is, after I got her number, I felt great because I had been validated. I had succeeded, that I got her number. And the thing is, I'm not really looking for a relationship or anything with a girl right now, because I know I'm probably going to move away in a few months to London, and I don't want to start anything now because I had a bad experience with my old girlfriend who I had to leave behind because I was moving away, and that was quite a painful thing. And I don't want to like get into something now again with a new person and then have to leave again. It's just, I don't want to have to relive that pain. So I was literally just going out to pick up girls, get their number, and then just not text them. I wasn't really thinking I would do that, but I kind of knew it, and that was why I felt bad. So my conscience kind of stipulated that I'm obliged to explain to her what I had done wrong, and generally my conscience was telling me I should restrain myself from repeating that mistake. So this morning, 2 days afterwards, I just sent her a voice message explaining that I apologize. I solemnly apologize to her for having used her for my own benefit, and that I was just trying to get out of my comfort zone with some guys, and how I'm not really looking for anything now, and I also don't want anything sort of short-term or casual with her for fun, because I don't condone that kind of those endeavors, because I don't really have anything. It doesn't produce much value out of me, and I'm just using her for my sexual benefits then, and that's dangerous, I think. I don't want that to accumulate or sort of snowball and merge into other aspects of my life, that sort of casual exploitative mindset. Even though it's might not be so obvious that it's an exploitative mindset, I do think it is, and I don't want to nurture that within me. So I told her that, and she replied. She said something like She said something like, well, I wasn't expecting to get married or get together immediately or anything like that. And she said, yeah, it's not good to use people for your own fun at their expense, but she appreciates that I reached out. She thought it was very cool that I was open to her and, explained what was going on. She wished me a nice rest of my Sunday, which was nice. And I replied to her and showed my appreciation for her understanding, and that was it really. And I feel a bit better now, but I still feel like I did something wrong and it was not correct, and I don't really want to do it again. So now I want to quickly just go into what was wrong, what made me feel bad. Reason number one, I used her for my own benefit without repaying or offering her something in return. I was basically having fun at her own expense. I was getting out of my comfort zone, getting a rush from the escapade, from the experience. And a lot of people won't understand this, especially because how other guys, if I didn't think she was perfectly my type and I don't really want to get into anything deep, anything like permanent relationship, a lot of guys would just say, yeah, I'll just try and sleep with her and, move on, and that's it. I'll use her number, talk to her and just have some fun with her. But I'm not, I don't want that. I just disagree with that. So that's the thing. I was basically just using her, playing with her kind of for my own fun. Now, second of all, I lied to her. I deceived her because I said I would message her, and I did message her now, but I didn't message her how I guess I told her I would sort of reach out to her to organize a date, perhaps, but I just didn't do that. And for the first, until last night, I decided actually I probably wouldn't message her because I'm not interested in her, so I'll just leave it. But I felt like my conscience told me, you need to clean up what you've done, the mess you've made, sort of. So I lied to her, and I sort of expressed it, I sort of got her number, showed interest as if I was authentically attracted to her, and I guess I don't know, I was to a degree, but also then not fully, I don't know, yeah. So, one thing I want to reflect on is, I don't know if I've just become, way too emotional or sensitive that I pick up on this behavior. Am I overreacting that I did something wrong? Because, most 22-year-old men would laugh at what I'm talking about, saying how I used her. They'll think I'm, simping or anything, and I don't know if I'm just, if I've gone too far, or what's really going on, if I'm just too emotional, too sensitive, too reflected. I don't know. I don't think I'm too emotional. I think I'm actually more just in tune with myself and more in tune with the consequences of bad behavior, of destructive behavior and selfish, greedy behavior, and how I should need to restrain that in myself. I think that's what's happening, because I've been able to decloud the space between my moral conscience and my consciousness, my awareness, the space between that is sort of, the less you're in tune with your moral conscience, the less strong or less robust the connection is between your awareness and your moral conscience. But I've been able to decloud that space and highlight that connection and listen to it, I would say, more attentively. Yeah. So in conclusion, what I learned from picking up girls is that it really depends what intentions you have. And if it's just to play the numbers game of, numbing yourself from rejection, that's not necessarily good, because you have to understand the person you're using to numb your rejection, you're simply just using them. You're not really giving them anything in return unless you go out on a date. But for me, I'm not really interested in a date, so the intention is there to just literally use the girl for my own fun and just, get out of my comfort zone, and that's really it. And that's selfish, myopic, and just morally suboptimal, I would say. Yeah. And I think I would only go and pick up a girl now if I'm genuinely really feel like I'm interested in her, or if I think she's authentically attractive, then I would maybe do it. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy. Or first, please leave a comment below whether you think I'm being, too sensitive or overreacting, or whether you've experienced this sort of this doubt, this dubious feeling within yourself or not. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to learn more about self-development, dating, Jungian psychology, and how to reduce suffering in life. Thank you for listening.